The Washington Wizards have been one of the worst, if not the worst team in the NBA for quite some time now, and for that reason I have decided that today we are going to rebuild and save the Washington Wizards. At the time of this recording, we are the number 14 seed with 16 wins and 51 losses, and honestly this is exactly where we need to be because we could end up with a top 5 pick drafting ourselves a player like Cameron Boozer, Darren Peterson, or AJ DeBonsta. By the time next season comes around, Anthony Davis will be fully healthy, our younger core will have developed even more, and hopefully we will have ended up with a top 3 pick in the 2026 NBA draft. Now let's go ahead and simulate until the end of this season. At the end of this season, Nikola Jokic goes on to win an MVP, Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year, Hami Haka 6-Man, Victor Wembanyama Defensive Player, Quetta wins Most Improved, Desmond Bane Clutch Player, Mark Coach of the Year, and the Celtics win Executive of the Year. And here are your all NBA awards and all defensive awards. None of that really matters since we won't have any players there, so let's go ahead and simulate past the playoffs and see who goes on to win the championship. It will be the OKC Thunder taking on the Pistons, and the Detroit Pistons going to win a championship with Cade Cunningham winning Finals MVP. We did a perfect job at tanking. We ended this season being the second worst team in the entire NBA, so that means we're going to have the second best odds at ending up with the first overall pick in the 26th draft. Before we go into the offseason, Trae Young is open to sign a contract extension with our team, so I am going to go ahead and extend him for the next 3 seasons. I will try to lower that money down just a little bit. We should be able to give him $36 million annually, and yes we can, so he goes on to accept a 3-year contract extension. It is now draft lottery day. Let's see where we end up in the 2026 NBA draft. And again, we do have the second best odds at ending up with the first overall pick. Let's go ahead and skip to the lottery results and see what happens. And of course, we do end up falling down all the way to number 5. That is alright. That does suck, but I mean, that's alright. We'll still be able to get ourselves a decent player. Alrighty, we are ready for draft day. Let's see which player we're going to be able to draft with the 5th overall pick. The Dallas Mavericks have the first overall pick in back-to-back years, and they take Darren Peterson to pair up with Cooper Flag. That is going to be an elite duo. The Brooklyn Nets have the 2nd overall pick, and they go on to take Cameron Boozer. Let's see what the Hornets do with the 3rd overall pick, and they take AJ DeBonsta. I'm not sure which player we're going to be able to draft. Darius Akuff goes to the LA Clippers. And now we are here with a 5th overall pick. We're able to draft ourselves players like Caleb Wilson. I do really like Jaden. He's a player that I was thinking about drafting to be our backup center behind AD. We don't really need any more guards on our team. We already have plenty of guards and wing play. So what we're going to do is go ahead and draft Jaden. He's a 6'10" big man, has a ceiling of DeMarcus Cousins all NBA. So let's go ahead and draft him with our 5th overall pick in the 26th draft. We do have ourselves 3 second-round picks in the draft, but I don't really want to draft a bunch of young rookies in the 2nd round, so I'm going to try to trade up with the Philadelphia 76ers, where we would get the 23rd overall pick in the 1st round, and it looks like they do decline. I will throw in some more 2nd rounders, and 4 2nd rounders gets it done. I would say that's a pretty successful draft. We got ourselves Jaden, who's a 75 overall, and we also drafted Braden Burries with the 23rd overall pick, who is a 72 overall. We have to pick up the team player option for a lot of players on our team, of course. We're going to pick it up for Alex Sarr, Keontae George, and Bilal Coulibaly. I'm not sure which one of these players will be part of our rotation and which won't, but we may possibly trade some of them for 1st round picks this offseason. What I will be doing is trading away players that we don't need on this team for 1st round picks, stacking up on a boatload of 1st rounders, and then we'll go into free agency and see which players we have enough money to sign. In free agency, we do have enough money to bring in ourselves some pretty good players, and Tari Eason is somebody that I'm looking forward to bringing in. This past season, the Wizards were one of the worst rebounding teams and defensive teams. Tari Eason is both a good defender and a good offensive rebounder, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and offer him a 4-year deal, paying him about $13.25 million a year. It looks like he will be accepting on a 4-year, $57 million contract. If you're enjoying this video so far, I would really appreciate it if y'all could hit that thumbs up button, and also make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And now here is a new and upgraded rotation. So in our starting lineup, we have Trae Young, Bilal Coulibaly, Keyshawn George, Alex Sarr, and Anthony Davis. And then off the bench, we have Trey Johnson, Tari Eason, Bob Carrington, and our rookie Jaden. Let's go ahead and simulate the first week of this season to see how our team does. In the first game up against the Pelicans, we do end up winning 139 to 124. Trae Young had a 28-point double-double, George with 26, Sar with 22, AD had himself 7 points, but he did foul out in 19 minutes. And we also go on to defeat Trae Young's previous team, the Hawks, and yes, we can, winning this game 126 to 99. Our leading scorer, okay, never mind, that is for the Hawks. So our leading scorer was AD, averaging 35 points and 15 rebounds. Trae Young had himself a 26-point double-double, Tari Eason with 19. And to start out this season, we will be rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency balanced under Brian Keefe. Now I'm going to start simulating here until the end of this season, but if there's any trades to be made, I'll stop at the trade deadline to show you all. I truly wanted to see how the Anthony Davis experiment went, but he is on an expiring contract, he doesn't want to sign a contract extension with our team, and I have a strong feeling he's going to leave us in free agency, so I'm not going to allow that to happen. We're going to be trading him away at the trade deadline to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't really want Jarrett Allen, I only want Evan Mobley, so let's see if we can do straight up Anthony Davis for Evan Mobley. And as of right now, they do decline, so I will start throwing in some future first-round picks, and one first-round pick lands us Evan Mobley. And this lineup is going to be absolutely insane. We now have ourselves a former defensive player, Evan Mobley, as our starting center, and Alex Sarr, one of the best rim protectors, as our starting power forward. The front court's defense is going to be absolutely unstoppable. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win his first MVP, Cameron Boozer Rookie of the Year, Jalen Green 6-Man, Wemby DPOY, Risa Shea Most Improved, Curry wins Clutch Player, and Chris Finch Coach of the Year. Now let's take a look at the awards and see if we get Trae Young or any of our players here, and it looks like we do land Evan Mobley on an All-NBA third team, but somehow we don't land Trae Young, even though he had himself an amazing season. Evan Mobley also makes an all-defensive first team, and we land ourselves Alex Sarr on an all-defensive second team as well. That is what I'm talking about. We ended this season as the best team in the Eastern Conference, winning 58 games and losing only 24. Ever since we brought in Evan Mobley, our team has been unstoppable. I'm really glad we traded away Anthony Davis, bringing in Mobley. Before we start simulating the playoffs, let's take a look at the player stats. So our leading scorer was Trae Young, averaging 21 points per game, 10 assists, which is why I was surprised he did not make an All-NBA team. He was averaging a 21-point double-double basically. 19 from Sarr, 18 from Mobley, 16 from Johnson, 12 from George, and 11 from Tari Eason. And it looks like Anthony Davis and the Cleveland Cavaliers also going to make the playoffs as the number 4 seed. In the first round, we will be taking on the Indiana Pacers, who have themselves Tyrese Halliburton, Nembhard, Walker, Pascal Siakam, and of course Via Zubac, who they traded for. Let's see if we can defeat this team in the first round. Game number 1 will go to us. Trae Young leading the way here with 22 points, 20 from Keyshawn George. Game number 2 will also go to us, and game 3 goes to the Pacers. They win here 128 to 120. Can we win game 4 to go up 3-1? And yes, we can. Trae Young dropping 33 points and 14 assists, Keyshawn George with 25. And we do not end up beating them here in game 5, but can we do it in game 6? And yes, we can. Let's go. We do end up advancing to the second round of the playoffs. Trae Young dropping 26 points and 12 assists. And now in the second round of the playoffs, we are going to be taking on Anthony Davis and the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have themselves James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Tyson, AD, and Jarrett Allen. I did change Anthony Davis' position to power forward for them. That way it would be a little bit more easier to run things, and clearly it's been working for them. He's averaging nearly 30 points per game here in the playoffs. Hopefully we are able to take this team out. Game number 1 will go to the Cavs. They win here 158 to 121. Holy, CJ McCollum dropped 28 points on our head. Game number 2, we do end up winning. Alex Sarr goes off for 40 points, a 30-point double-double from Trae Young. Game number 3 will go to the Cavs. They win here, dropping 150 points. AD is out for his revenge. He just dropped 39 points and 11 rebounds on us. Johnson had 33, Trae with a 20-point double-double. I am going to come up with a defensive coach game plan, and then we'll advance to game 4. I have now come up with a defensive coach game plan. Let's see if that's going to help us win this next game to tie up this series. The Cavs will have home court advantage. And so far we do have the lead, but can we keep it? And yes, we can. We end up winning 123 to 120. Trae Young dropped a 29-point double-double, 18 from George, and 15 from Johnson. Now the series is tied at 2-2 apiece. We'll have home court advantage for Game 5, and so far we do have the lead. Looks like we will also be winning this game, 127 to 110, Alex R dropping 24, Trae Young with 31. All we gotta do now is win one more game and then we'll have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Cavs will have home court advantage for this game, and so far they do have the lead. It looks like they will be winning 126 to 107. Mobley played amazing, dropping 33, but we do end up falling short. And now it's going to a Game 7 winner go home situation. We will have home court advantage for Game 7. Let's see what happens. And so far we do have the lead, and it looks like we will be winning this game, going to the conference finals 124 to 118. Trae Young drops 27, 22 from Keyshawn George. Let's go. We have now made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and we will be taking on the Orlando Magic, who have Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Nikola Vucevic. That's pretty insane. So Vucevic ends up back on the team he played majority of his career with. Let's see if we can defeat this team. Game number 1 will go to us. Alex R dropping 30, Mobley with a 27-point double-double. Game number 2 will go to the Magic. They win here 126 to 123. Trae played amazing, so did George, but sadly we do fall short. Game number 3 will also go to the Magic. Okay, so Trae Young had 24, 23 from Sar, but we do fall short here. It looks like the Magic have gone up 3-1 against our team. I was not expecting that, but they did. They win here in Game 4, 137 to 117. Honestly, I was not expecting the Magic whatsoever to be giving us this tough of a battle, but let's see what happens and can we come back from this 3-1 deficit. So far we do have the lead, and it looks like we will be winning by 3 points. Trae dropping 37, 29 from Bilal Coulibaly, and now the series is at 3-2. It looks like we do end up being eliminated by the Magic here in Game 6. So this offseason, there's clearly some trades we're going to have to make. I did believe our team was championship contenders, but sadly we do fall short here in Game 6 to the Orlando Magic. Let's see who goes on to win the championship. Victor Wembanyama, Western Conference Finals MVP, Paulo Banchero, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and the Spurs go on to win a championship with Wemby winning Finals MVP. And here are the playoff stats. In case you guys were wondering, we played a total of 19 games, and in those 19 games, Trae Young was averaging a 25-point double-double, 19 from George, 19 from Sar, and 18 from Evan Mobley. We do have some picks in the 27 draft, but we don't really need more rookies on this team, so I'm going to go ahead and trade them away for future draft capital that we could possibly use in a trade. And another thing, we are going to be upgrading our head coach. I'm going to go ahead and fire Brian Keefe. We don't really need him on this team. I think somebody like Jason Kidd or Nick Nurse, Joe Mazzulla would be a lot better for our team. So I'm going to go ahead and offer all 3 of them a contract, and we'll see which one out of the 3 goes on to accept. It looks like Jason Kidd, Nick Nurse, and Joe Mazzulla don't want to sign with our team, but that's alright because we get the OKC Thunder's previous head coach, Mark. He brings in championship experience, and I believe he'll be perfect for our young core, just how he was with the Thunder's young core. For team player options, of course, we're going to pick up the team option on Alex R, Keyshawn George, Trae Johnson, Bob Carrington, and Will Riley. I'm not sure if we need to re-sign anyone. It looks like we do need to re-sign Bilal Coulibaly and Cam Whitmore, who we both should have bird rights on. And I believe they are both restricted free agents as well, which means we will be bringing them back. And Bilal Coulibaly wants $43 million. Holy. $43 million for a player that was averaging 8 points per game, cannot even hit a three-pointer is absolutely insane. What I will do is match whatever offer he has, and it looks like it will be from the Rockets, but then we will be trading him away for a different player. I will be offering Cason Wallace a 4-year, $56 million contract. I do want him to be our backup point guard. I believe we need a good defensive backup point guard, so I will probably be trading away Bob Carrington. But as of right now, Cason Wallace will be the one. Bilal Coulibaly is willing to accept a contract from a different team, a 3-year, $124 million contract, so for now, we will go ahead and match that. As I said, we are going to be flipping away Bilal Coulibaly, and I'm here talking with the New York Knicks. Bridges is listed at the shooting guard position, but if we change that to small forward, he should go up a ton in overall, and he could be our brand new starting small forward. Let's see what the New York Knicks say for this trade if we send them Coulibaly for Mikal Bridges. And they do decline as of right now, but I will throw in a future first round pick, and that gets the trade done. Now that we have Case and Wallace, we don't need Bub Carrington on our team. He hasn't really been doing much as a backup point guard. He's not a good defender, whereas Case and Wallace will help out our defense a ton. So I'm going to be trading away Bub Carrington to the LA Lakers, where we get ourselves a valuable first round pick. We are ready for this up and coming season, and our roster is looking absolutely unstoppable. So in our starting lineup, we're going to have ourselves Trae Young, Mikal Bridges, Keyshawn George, Alex Sarr, and Evan Mobley. And then off the bench, we have Trey Johnson, Kaysen Wallace, Jaden, and Tari Eason. If you guys are wondering why we're not starting Trey Johnson, it's pretty simple. It's because of his defense. He's a really good offensive player, which is why the six-man role is perfect for him. Besides Trae Young, we need good defenders, so Mikal Bridges will be the starting shooting guard. Let's simulate the first few games of this season to see how we do. The first game is up against the Pelicans, who we defeat 135-122. Evan Mobley with 27 and 10. Alex Sarr with a 24-point double-double, Trae Young with a 20-point double-double. And we also go on to defeat the Miami Heat. Let's see, and we do end up losing to the Heat here, 140-130. George had 20, Johnson 20, 19 from Sarr, but that is alright, we do fall short. We will be rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency, pace and space under Mark. And now I'm going to start simulating here until the end of this season, but if there's any trades to be made, I'll stop at the trade deadline to show you all. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win a back-to-back MVP, Taron Stokes wins Rookie of the Year, Darius a Cuff 6-man, Wemby DPOY, this dude wins Most Improved, Paulo Banchero Clutch Player, Billy Donovan Coach of the Year, and the Spurs go on to win Executive of the Year. Let's see if we have any All-NBA selections. We do get ourselves Evan Mobley on an All-NBA second team, and it looks like no Trae Young once again. We do land Evan Mobley on an all-defensive first team, and we also get Alex Sarr on an all-defensive second team. We ended this season being the number 1 seed, winning 62 games and losing only 20. I feel like this is going to be the playoffs. We go on to win a championship, but before we start simulating the playoffs, let's take a look at the player stats for the regular season. Our leading scorer was Evan Mobley, averaging 21 points per game, 11 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. 20.5 points per game from Alex Sarr, 9 rebounds, 2.5 blocks, 20 and 9 from Trae Young, 17 from Trey Johnson, and 14 from Mikal Bridges. In the first round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the Indiana Pacers, who have themselves Tyrese Halliburton, Brendan Boston, Jarris Walker, Pascal Siakam, and Avia Zubac. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us. Alex Sarr leading the way here with 26 points, 23 from George, and 23 from Mobley. Game number 2 does end up going to the Pacers. They win here 107-98. Game 3 will also go to the Pacers. Okay, so now we need to come up with a defensive coach game plan. I have now come up with a defensive coach game plan. Let's see if that'll help us tie up this series. We will jump into Simcast, and the Pacers will have home court advantage. And so far we do have the lead, and it looks like we will go on to win 134-113. Mobley dropping 27 and 14, Tari Eason with 22, 21 from Sarr. Trae Young had himself a 19-point double-double, and now the series is tied at 2-2 apiece. We will have home court advantage for game 5. We do have the lead so far, and it looks like we do go on to win by 3 points, 116-113. 26 points and 20 rebounds from Evan Mobley. All we gotta do now is win one more game, and then we'll have finally made it to the second round of the playoffs. The Pacers will have home court advantage, and so far we are being blown out, and we go on to lose 137-111. Mobley had 27, 21 from Sarr, and Trae Young has been struggling here in the playoffs. So far he's shooting 28% from 3 and 42 from the field. It is now time for Game 7, win or go home situation. We will have home court advantage on our side. Let's see what happens here. And so far, the Pacers have the lead, but we take it right back from them. We are up 114-102. Let's slow this down and see if we need to jump in. We are trying to run away with it here in the second half, and it looks like we will be winning 130. Whoa, they almost came back in the fourth quarter. We won by 2 points in the end, 132-130. Trae Young had a 41-point double-double, 29 from Sarr, 21 from Mobley. Now in the second round of the playoffs, we are taking on Trae Young's previous team, the Atlanta Hawks, who have themselves Killian Hayes, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Zachary Risache, Jalen Johnson, and Okongwu, and this is their bench unit. They do have a pretty stacked bench, I cannot lie. Their sixth man is Dyson Daniels, who's an 88 overall. Game number 1 will go to us. Trae Young dropping a 34-point double-double. George with 24, 23 from Sarr, and 20 from Mobley. Game number 2 will also go to us. Mobley with 25 points. Can we also go on to win game 3? And yes, we can. Alex Sarr leading the way here with a 28-point double-double. Trae Young with a 26-point double-double. And it looks like Trae Young is finally starting to play amazing again. His field goal percentage and 3-point percentage is starting to go up. Can we sweep the Hawks? And we cannot sweep them, but hopefully it could be a gentleman sweep. And yes, it can. Trae Young dropping 26 points and 12 assists here in game 5. It looks like in the Eastern Conference Finals, we are going to be taking on the Detroit Pistons. They are the defending NBA champs. They have themselves Cade Cunningham, Colin Sexton, Asar Thompson, Ron Holland, and Jalen Duren, and they also have Michael Porter Jr. coming off of their bench unit. Pretty stacked team with 80 overall players or higher. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to Asar dropping 33, 26 from our 6-man Trey Johnson. We also go on to win game 2. This time it's Trae Young leading the way with a 31-point double-double. Game 3 will go to the Pistons. Game 4 goes to us, and we beat them in Game 5, now making it to the NBA Finals. In Game 5, Trae Young had 30, 25 from Trae Johnson. We're either going to be taking on the OKC Thunder or the Phoenix Suns, and it will be Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns. Booker goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP, Evan Mobley Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And now in the NBA Finals, we are going to be taking on the Phoenix Suns, who have themselves Kevin Porter Jr., Devin Booker, Dylan Brooks, Ryan Dunn, and Kaman Mulwatch, and they also have Jalen Green as their 6-man, Mark Williams, Allen, and Fleming. So this is a pretty good team. I've never really seen the Phoenix Suns make it all the way to the finals. This is the first time, so let's see how things go. Game number 1 will go to us. Trae Young with 33 points and 15 assists. Let's see if we can go up 2-0. We already won the first game, and we do go on to lose the second game, 118-116. We lose by 2 points, I believe that was. We go on to lose game 3 as well. Okay, so now they win 115-109. Trae Young played amazing, but sadly we do fall short. What I will do is come up with the defensive coach game plan before we advance to game 4. We have now come up with the defensive coach game plan. Let's jump into Simcast and see if we can top the series here in game 4, where the Suns will have home court advantage. So far they do have the lead. Can we come back is a question. We're going into the 4th quarter. They're up by 1 point. Let's slow this down because it looks like we may need to jump in, unless our team obviously starts to run away with it, which it looks like is happening here in the 4th quarter. 122-109, 140 remaining, and it looks like we will be winning this game 133-121. Trae Young with a 29-point double-double, Mobley with a 24-point double-double, as well as 5 blocks. And now the series is tied at 2-2 apiece. We will be jumping into Simcast for the remainder of these games. We will have home court advantage for game 5. Let's see what happens. And so far it's a back and forth battle. It looks like the Phoenix Suns going to win by 3 points. That was a game we should have probably jumped into, but sadly that was simulating way too fast. Mobley had 29, 22 from Alex Sarr. I was not expecting for the Phoenix Suns to be playing this good here in the finals, but I did make a little change to our lineup. Tari Eason will be starting at the shooting guard position. He has been shooting 40% from 3-point line. He's a good defender. We could put him on Booker. Bridges has been struggling from the 3-point line and from his field goal percentage, so as of right now, we will push him to the 6-man role. Let's jump into Simcast and see if we can win this game. The Suns will have home court advantage, and so far we do have the lead, but can we keep it is a question. We're up by 3, 12 minutes remaining. Let's see what happens. Pretty close game here. Back and forth battle. We are up by 3 points, 150 remaining. We are starting to run away with it, and it looks like we will go on to win 141-133. Trae Young dropping a 39-point double-double, 26 from Johnson, 21 and 10 from Mobley. Now it's time for Game 7, winner-go-home situation for both teams, and thankfully we do have home court advantage on our side. Let's see if that's going to help us win this game, and so far we do have the lead by quite a bit, and it looks like we will go on to win the Washington Wizards a championship, winning here in Game 7, 137-116. Trae Young dropping 45 points and 23 from Trae Johnson. And just like that, we have won the Washington Wizards a championship, with Trae Young winning Finals MVP, averaging 34 points per game and 10 assists. Before we end out this video, let's take a look at the player stats for the playoffs and see how our team did. So we played a total of 24 games, and in those 24 games, our leading scorer was Trae Young, averaging a 27-point double-double. 21 from Alex R, 20 and 11 from Evan Mobley, as well as 2 blocks, 15 from Trey Johnson. In the NBA Finals, we played a total of 7 games. In those 7 games, Trey Young was averaging 34 points per game, 21 from Mobley, and 16 from Trey Johnson. And now that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and also subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 rebuilds. Click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.